Good morning and welcome to the new edition of Dr. Lamba's Awakening Call. Middle East was a buzz and still is, and that buzzing is resounding around the corner. The reason was the relation between Israel and Middle East Muslim countries improving. Earlier, Jordan and Egypt had recognized Israel, and now UAE and Bahrain have recognized Israel and established diplomatic relations. And this has set a lot of buzz. It's a great achievement for President Trump to have ensured this peace movement. And in this process, people have forgotten and not been aware there's not only these two countries which have recognized Israel, but in Balkans also two fighting countries, warring countries, Kosovo and Serbia, both have till now refused to recognize, but now they have done so. So the initiative taken by Trump in getting Israel an international recognition is bearing fruit. Not only that, more and more countries are moving their embassy to Jerusalem. Obviously, this peace would not have been possible except for the efforts of Trump. And he did some heavy lifting in both regions. Exactly what was promised to Kosovo and Serbia would not be clear to people outside that region. And amazingly, these two countries have recognized not each other. They have recognized Israel, whom they used to hate. And evidently, again, the reason for this is very clear that Trump is proving to be the master of the deal making art. Thus far, we were led to believe that the greater trade with was quiet, fear of Iran, Israeli high-tech weaponry were the drivers behind the UAE decision to transform the covert ties with Israel into a full-blown relationship. But the reality is that Trump has very clearly said no sale of F-35 jets until and unless Israel agrees. Now, this is a major change in the policy making of USA. Till now, USA never was proactive, but the new policy, and now it has been made a law, that Israel must maintain a qualitative military edge over its neighbors. So the deal that brought Netanyahu consent to the sale of F-35 was recognition by UAE. Blocking the annexation of Palestinian land is just a soap to the larger Muslim world. Even the Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu had promised to halt this provocative move, but the two words which are extremely important have been forgotten by majority of the people. They say far now. So annexation, the assimilation has been stopped only temporarily. It's not a permanent feature. Now, what are the reasons for that? Was it only the trade ties? Was it only the defense needs of UAE? What makes F-35 more special, worth $80 million each? Largely the radar evading materials used in the construction, as well as the intelligence gathering technology it carries, was of love. But what was more was the fear of Iran. And Iran is driving many Arab states into US Israeli camp. Just yesterday, Saudi Arabia had ordered boycott of all Turkish goods. Iran is already banned. Now, Iran and Turkey, these are the two very provocatively Islamist countries. Let's not deny. And then the Shia Sunni divide is there. But Netanyahu was thinking that if Trump should lose the election, something many wish, Biden would halt the sale. So he wanted a sale to go through, and UAE knew that Biden would not permit the sale. So both the countries wanted Trump to be successful as far as the recognition was concerned. So whatever the real reason, the fear of Iran is certainly one of the US withdrawal from the region, following its dependence on the Arab oil. So Iran has succeeded in driving many Sunni countries into US Israeli camp. And believe it or not, it's a matter of days that Saudi Arabia was the champion of the rights of Palestinians would be moving into this camp openly. Already it has done so. Do you know? Again, this news has not been covered by the media extensively. For the first time, Saudi Arabia has permitted commercial flights overflying the kingdom and the ostensible reason is it would reduce the flying time between Israel and UAE. The main purpose, placate UAE. Israel, okay, hold on. UAE is recognizing with our blessings. Let some time elapse and we will also be with you. Jordan and E- Egypt already have the embassies for decades. But even Turkey has its embassy in Israel. So when Turkish president protested loudly against UAE and Bahrain recognition of Israel, we don't have to understand the reason for that. It is only for the show of friendship with Palestinians. Otherwise, why should Turkey have the diplomatic relationship with Israel? But the most important reason which nobody talks about is that the generation of Arabs want jobs and opportunities and peace. They do not want a perpetual state of war with a powerful neighbor who's technologically highly advanced. In the next door neighbor with that power, with that technology, with that capability, why have enmity? And who is the enemy of Palestinians? Not Israel. It's the Palestinians themselves. In 1984, they were getting a much bigger piece of cake than they're demanding now. UN was giving them much more in 1948. They refused. Second, that was the first opportunity. Second opportunity, Jimmy Carter was the most friendly American president that Palestinians can ever hope to get. They did not accept his offer. Bill Clinton did his best to push an agreement, but PLO was rigid and did not want any genuine rapprochement. Now, with the Trump's openly pro-Israel policies, USA has clearly said, no, we are not a broker. We support Israel and we do it openly without any hesitation. Let's be very clear that recognition by UAE is not a reward for good behavior. If it were so, half the world would not recognize each other. India and China don't have good relations, and still they recognize each other. India, Pakistan do not have good relations, they recognize each other. Russia, China, they hate USA, but they have highly placed diplomatic relations with each other. So recognition is not a sense of friendship. It's not. Normalization is a process and it has, carries a benefit. If you want to protest against the provocative policies of the neighbor or the country which you recognize, what better way than to summon the envoy and register the process? The protest, which you do not have that right if you don't have the diplomatic relationship. And the Muslim world's head in the sand attitude towards Israel was that only. They wanted to say something to Israel, they could not say it. So they circumvented and sent a message to the embassy of Switzerland or Sweden or some other country. As a matter of fact, this is not exactly helpful even to the Palestinians. They might call UAE recognition a stab in the back. But let's not forget that Palestinians are parasites. How long the oil rich Middle East countries would continue to dish out cash regularly to Palestinians, and that too not to the people, but to the administrators controlling the West Bank and Gaza. And as oil revenues start falling with no recovery in sight, this sort of a subsidy charity to Palestinians is becoming very unpopular. So, what does this alignment leave us? We find the Muslim world, especially Pakistan, in a limbo. Pakistan said that they will recognize Israel only when all the lands seized in 1967 were returned. By this time, 500,000 Israelis have built homes there. So, can that land be ever returned? No. So, you want justice as Palestinian, which is just a humbug because you are not caring about millions of Uyghurs in China who are being persecuted. So, what are the outcomes of this, and why is Israel no longer a pariah? That's a major question. First, it is economic reason. Money makes a miracle. The Gulf countries now see more opportunities for trade and commerce. The deal will help ambitious Emirates, who have built themselves in military power, to have more opportunities for trade. And the first benefit was, of course, F-35. And not only F-35, which everybody is talking about, but EA-18G Growler electronic aircraft has also been given. Second benefit, Israel is no longer isolated in the region. It's a genuine achievement for Netanyahu. Of course, for Trump it is. And Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, who is a strong believer in strategy first, described it 1920s as an iron wall between the Jewish states. And the idea that Jewish state will make the end, make the people realize of his existence has been proved to be correct. This country with the iron dome today, with the iron will that it has and the iron dome, it has shown that though they have been at war, still It can extend its hand of friendship. Israelis don't like to be isolated. Peace with Egypt and Jordan was never warm. And now they are thinking and hoping that more and more Middle East countries would recognize them. Then, third benefit is a foreign policy coup, a successful one by Trump. The deal works on a number of levels for the US president. It's a big boost for his strategy as a deal maker and moves a maximum pressure on Iran. Then the Palestinians might feel betrayed because they are left holding the wooden spoon. They have called this recognition as a betrayal. But the new agreement breaks a long standing Arab consensus that the price of normal relationship is independence of Palestine. It's no longer there. So Palestinians are held holding alone. Israel is now cementing public relationship with Arab states, and Palestine will languish by themselves. Fifth, Iran has a major strategic headache, and that's why Iran condemned this deal. But it's more than rhetoric. This agreement puts them in excess strain. President Trump's sanctions are already causing economic pain, and now they have strategic headache as well. So these five fallouts are a major breakthrough in the geopolitical scene of the globe. Because what happens in one part of the globe affects the others. And Israel is no longer a pariah, not even in the Muslim states, and that's a welcome sign. Thank you.